everybody. It's April the 22nd, 2022, and my name is Henry Tenby. We are at Vancouver International Airport. It's a lovely morning today. Thank you for your patience. Yesterday was our scheduled time for the show, but we had some very bad rain here in Vancouver, so we just decided it made sense to push the show until this morning, and that was a great decision. So it's clear. Wind is gusting at, I believe, 10 kilometers. It's about 12 degrees Celsius, and we're on 08 operations. I'm sorry, we're on 26. We're on 26 operations this morning. So the aircraft are landing out of the east towards the west, and it's going to be a nice morning, and I thank you very much for tuning in. Again, it's Earth Day today, so this is the day that we show our acknowledgement and appreciation for everything that we have to do with nature. And here in Canada, that's a big thing, and it was a big news item this morning as I drove in. So with any luck, we may see some nice birds flying around of the feathered type and of the metal type as well. So this is a nature reserve, as you all know. Vancouver Airport was settled on a river delta, and there are a lot of birds and other interesting animals. So we'll see what comes our way this morning. And on the airfield, it's quite interesting. We have quite a number of Asian aircraft, which I'll show you here shortly, sitting on the remote parking. We have a Airbus 350 of China Airlines on a special scheme, which is kind of neat. We have a China Eastern A350. We've got the JAL 787 sitting there. And we've also got Air France on arrival this morning as well, so that'll be cool. I haven't seen Air France in a long time here. So we'll get on with the show. Thank you guys for tuning in, and let's have fun.
Bye-bye.
Now guys, Air France I think is due in around 11:30. I'm going to check that for you. Let's just have a look here at our schedules. But yeah, Air France is definitely the highlight, or one of the highlights for today. And I'll show you guys the remote stands. Now, let's have a look here. Stand by one, guys. There is the China Airlines A350. Oh, hang on one second. Hang on, guys. The camera. Camera's gone out of level, so I've got to just level the tripod. And
I said, you don't need anything, and it just goes by. Did you put the top on it? Yes. You knew it was there. Leave it there. I'll eat it when I get home. Okay? I would make some rice. And then add the sweet and sour pork. There's like sweet and sour pork that's probably good. It's in a dish. I'll have that later. Great way to start the morning.
Beautiful. Nice rollout.
Another one coming blue right away.
Guys, this is the Toronto Vancouver Air Canada 105 now arriving, so I'll just crank the camera around.
Check it out. Big one coming. It's a big Air Canada, it's going to be loud. Look, the front's going to go down that hill. Watch it.
Nice, reverse thrusters are out. Nice bit of wing wobble. Going to take the close taxiway here. So good action to start the morning, guys. Two wide bodies for us. We can't complain. Nice weather. Don't have too much wind. Just getting.
Hey, we're gonna have to leave. Don't push your brother. Ruth, you're gonna hurt yourself. I don't want you to push it.
Hello?
Sorry mate, I dropped the call back.
Don't push it again. False.
Okay, hang on one second. I've dropped. Yeah.
Do this, you promise.
People can hear you because I don't have the earphones and they've fallen out of my head. So, unfortunately.
Papa.
Papa. Gentle with Lou.
Is it Westjet?
I don't know, we're gonna see. This is the last one for us, okay? Yeah, 9. Don't push your brother.
Papa, I want to see more airplanes.
We're going to.
So guys, we have a -7 on approach. So crank the camera around. see the people inside the aircraft there. And there's the Air Canada bus. Here's a view of the old, or the Canadian Airlines, former Canadian Airlines hangar. It's now an Air Canada hangar. There's a Airlines 787. Okay. Okay, I'll just we've got another aircraft on approach. This is a Westjet 737 inbound from Toronto. Ooh, nice, nice. Smoke. Reverse. American is taxiing over to the US gates here on the north side. Yeah, so I was going, hang on 1 second guys, I have to make an adjustment here on my tripod. Sorry people, but yeah, I've got a lot of balls up in the air here and I have to make an adjustment. So I am aware that the camera is just pointed at an empty terminal building, but I do have to take care of something here. A float plane in the distance there. Some nature. Got something on final, so I'm gonna have to disregard what I'm doing. It's a heavy. Quite see what that is, guys. A lot of reflection on the camera. I'll just try to pan it as best I can. Oh, Air Canada. .787, probably inbound from Toronto, I'm guessing. Okay guys, we have approach, we have Kelowna, inbound from Kelowna, 737 MAX. Lynx Air. So let's, yeah, Lynx Air just started service here, as you all know, quite recently. So let's see what Lynx Air is doing this morning. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, this is Lynx Air flight 9114, inbound from Kelowna. It's a short flight, about a 40-minute flight. Yeah, I am. There we go, guys. Nice. It's nice to see these guys here in Vancouver. I hope they do well. Their fares are reasonable, but there's a lot of competition in the low-cost carrier space. Behind this we've got the Air France inbound from Paris, which I have not seen in quite some time. But yeah, look at that, guys. Isn't that cool? Awesome. These guys are based in Calgary. It used to be called Enerjet. They're owned by the former founder of Westjet. Cool. So yeah, we've got Air France inbound. We've got a lot of, it's busy right now. So I'm gonna yank the camera around while we hang on, guys. There she is. Yeah, so during the pandemic we had Air France stopping here in Vancouver. They curtailed their Los Angeles services, and for whatever reasons they had to tech stop in Vancouver or have additional services into Vancouver. And Air Tahiti Nui also is stopping in Vancouver for technical reasons. They weren't able to go to Los Angeles from Papeete, and they were coming to Vancouver. Again, no traffic rights, very sadly, but we did have Air Tahiti Nui in here for about a 2-year period during the pandemic. So always nice to see French carriers here in Canada, in Vancouver. They're very welcome. Ian, Paul, thank you very much for your £5 donations to the channel. So this is a 777-200. It arrived from Charles de Gaulle Airport. GSPA. Got a bit of a break here, guys, on the approach, so we'll follow this guy in. Sorry about the slow start this morning, guys, but I had some balls to juggle here with the tripod, and I think I'm okay now. So guys, we have an Air Canada Q400 on approach from Kelowna, so I'm just going to zoom the camera back and we'll capture him. He's a bit out there, so just so some of you guys are hearing the chirping, chirp, chirp, chirp. That's actually me doing that. That is the we're on the very close to the navigational equipment here at the airfield. So that's the rotating beacon that you're hearing, that chirping. And I'm gonna try to, it's kind of hazy, but I'm gonna try to show you the buildings that are most likely the cause of that sound. Bear with me, guys, because we have that Q400 out there, but it's hard for me to find him until I can find his lights. He's quite a ways out. Yeah, it's GGOF-AQ400 inbound from Kelowna. So 37-minute sector from Kelowna to Vancouver, guys. Mackenzie Stewart, you're welcome to the Airliners Live channel. It's a new VIP. Thank you, Mackenzie. There we are. Anybody in the cabin there smiling at us. So the chirping that we're hearing, I believe, is because we're on a direct line with that there, and I believe that's where the rotating radar unit is spinning and causing the beep, beep, beep. That is the culprit right there. So it is par for the course. Unfortunately, there's nothing that I'm aware of that can be done to mitigate that chirping, other than not film at the airport, so or not this location. Oh, sorry guys, we have another inbound, so I must digress and yank the camera around. This is a Westjet Q400 inbound from Victoria. There he is. Thank you, Brian Bruce, for the £4.99 donation. Says, have a great stream, Henry. Oh, sorry guys, we're not holding. There we are, better. I love that view, cabin view. Welcome Gary Sewer, new premium economy member. Thank you, Gary. So there's the Airside Operations Center. This is in the back, well, you can see it in the background. That's where the snow plows live and other airport maintenance equipment. You can see some of it sitting outside, I believe. And adjacent to this building is the fire hall, the YVR fire hall, which will come into the frame shortly. Some kind of storage building in the background. So the building rising in the background, that is the Vancouver Airport Fire Hall. Kind of behind the tail of the China Eastern bus. So yeah, I was showing you what's parked on the remote stand here. We have the China Eastern A350. Then we have a JAL 78. Yeah. So, and here we have this Airbus 350 in the China Airlines. Now, some of you might be able to tell me, is this a special scheme or is this a standard scheme for the A350 in service with China Airlines? I don't know. I'm thinking it's a special scheme. If you guys can jump into the chat and tell me, maybe how many of these do they have in service, and are they all painted like this, or are they in the standard China Airlines scheme? And this is the only example painted in the special A350 scheme. But it's nice to see. I've not seen it here, so that's a very cool addition for us to spot this morning. There's our Dash 8 Q400 taxiing to the inner horseshoe. We call it the horseshoe because that's the shape of the terminal buildings here. We have a north and a south finger at YVR, and when they taxi in between the north and south fingers, it's shaped like the letter U, or a horseshoe. And if they taxi in between, they are taxiing into the horseshoe. So, well, he's going over to the Q400 farm. So many of the regional Dash 8s parked there at the end, certainly the Air Canada Jazz ones. So let's have a little peekaboo around the airport this morning, guys. For those of you that are joining us for the first time, we're on the north side. This is the north side of the north runway where we're standing right now, and we have a view of the north finger of the airport, and this is the primarily international terminal building, and we usually get wide body aircraft sitting at these gates here, mostly operating Asian services, but we're lucky this morning that we had Air France. Awesome to see Air France. There's a Air Canada triple, no, that's an Air Canada 78, pardon me. Yeah, and there's the Air France is being ground serviced for her departure back to Paris in a few hours, so we might see her depart. And yeah, really nice to see Air France here. Would like to try flying on Air France myself. If anybody would like to comment if they've perhaps flown on Air France business class from North America to Europe, keen to know your comments. How would they compare to Air Canada, for example? I believe Air France's business class product is fantastic, so Mackenzie Stewart, thank you for your donation. We appreciate your support to the channel. And then we've got 7-8 there as well. So this kind of gives you a flavor of the Northside International gates that we're looking at. And then as we start to move to the far end, what we have are, you can see there's some narrow body aircraft sitting here, Air Canada Maxes, 737 Maxes. We have some swing gates, and swing gates are gates that can be international or they can be domestic or US. So they swing between their purposes and the destinations of the passengers. So we have some swing gates. We can have some Caribbean charters and US flights go out of these gates as well. And then if we go right to the very end, you'll see there's another Max sitting nicely at the gate. And then if we continue further east, you'll see the remote stands. There's probably parking for a dozen aircraft in these remote stands. There's a few aircraft parked out in the weeds now, as you can see. I'll zoom out so you can have a bit of a wider view of the remote stands. And those buildings that you see in the background are high-rise. They're not high-rise, but they're apartment buildings in the city of Richmond. And there's a float plane landing. Oh no, it's not a float plane. That is a FedEx Caravan. He's landing on runway 26 left, which would be the view that we would be enjoying when we are on the south side for our show, which we have been. Many of you have seen it. We'll be back there at some point, of course, in the future. And then, yeah, so these are the build. Oh, hang on, what have we got? That's a Sunwing. Let's have a peekaboo. Yes, we have a Sunwing 737, probably a Max. That's parked out in the weeds as well. And so let's have a look at the chat, guys. Sorry about that. Again, I've been focused on the camera, but I haven't forgotten about you guys. Let's have a look here. Tracy, Will, Loopy. Yes, Loopy. Always like to see Loopy here. Can we hit 500 likes? That would be appreciated, guys. Awesome. Jenny Watts, hello. Kenzie Stewart, Dave Morgan, Paul Davies. Okay, yeah, Phil, thank you for that. It was a Morningstar Cessna 208. Morningstar is the FedEx affiliate here in Canada, or one of them, I should say, and they're very active here in Vancouver. And we've got Hingle. Yeah, Hingle, thank you for being a regular viewer on the channel. Will P, Amy Davies, Brian Bruce. Okay, let's have a look. Mr. Connie, Sue Lawson, another regular. Nice to see you here with us today. Let's have a look. Carla, hi Carla. Hi Amy, thank you guys. Again, I apologize for not being, it's just, I've only got two eyes in my head, and focusing on the camera, it distracts me from the chat, and I do apologize for that, guys. Hi Brian. Esther, hello. Hang on, guys. We've got a aircraft that's being dragged around to the north side. So I'm just gonna. It's a Max. There he is. That's a cool view. So there you go. That's the tow equipment, one of the standard here in Vancouver. What do you guys think of that huge fiberglass chunk sitting on the roof of the Air Canada Max? I guess that's for all the in-flight TV, etc., and the Wi-Fi. It's a little bit of a funny thing, that bulbous blister. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Echo Juliet Lima. Strange that some aircraft don't have that blister as prominent as the Max. In my mind, it's a little bit of a visual distraction for me. I'm a fan of the classic aircraft, like, you know, the 707s and the DC-8, 727s, Viscounts, Vanguards, your classic prop liners. So the Max is something of a new thing for me. And as it is a derivative of the 737, which of course started with the 737-100 in the late 60s, I'm a purist. And so when I see that thing sitting on top of the back of the aircraft, yeah, it doesn't sit with me too well. But that, again, that's me. Again, obviously Boeing, that's not a factor for Boeing in their engineering design, but it's just a bit of a different thing, I guess. You know, you don't see it on A320s or A330s or 787s or 777s, not like that anyhow. So yeah, so what else can we show you guys? Well, we've got a bit of a lull in the action. So bit of, again, lay of the land time. So just to show you, we have cows grazing here. Let's see if I can get a view. Or is that a horse? Let's have a look. Well, we've got various animals. These are horses. These are farmers that have land here, and they've been here for decades, since the 30s. When they opened Vancouver Airport, it was just open pastures and farms, and they persist to this day, thank goodness. Isn't that nice? Much like Narita, you know, they were here before the airplanes, so long may they continue to be here. And by having these farms here, it kind of gives us solace in knowing that we'll always have some form of access to view the aircraft, because if they can be here, we can be here. It's public area, so to speak. I mean, that is a private farm, but it is nice that it's there, for darn sure. And we've got several farms between here and the Canada Post mail sort facility that's in the background there. So yeah, we've got some horses to keep us company. And let's just have a standby one, guys. See we've got something happening on the on the south side. I think I hear something departing. Let's have the camera ready for us just in case he pops through the roof there. Let's have a look here. Oh, maybe I'm mistaken. Oh, we do have something on finals, guys. Hang on one second. Standby one. Have a look here. Okay, guys, we got Air North inbound from Whitehorse. Awesome. I love Air North, one of my favorite airlines. Whitehorse is a lovely destination. If you're ever coming to Vancouver, you've got to buy a ticket on Air North or Air Canada or Westjet and head up there and check it out. There she is. anybody know those pilots? So we have a Air Canada Jazz Q400 on approach, guys. Very soon I'll point the camera to him, but we'll just give a little bit more follow here on the Air North to give it the screen time it well deserves. So yeah, it's a 2.5 hour flight from Vancouver up to Whitehorse. So you're looking at a Vancouver-Los Angeles distance, and the fare is typically in the $200 one-way range, which I think is a bargain, especially if you're an aviation enthusiast. So let's have a look at our standby one, guys. Let's go get the Q400. Pardon me while I position the camera around for us and establish radar there he is. We got him. Beauty. Nice. So guys, the temperature is only about 12 degrees, so the heat haze is again par for the course here. Can you imagine what it's like in the summer when we've got 28 degrees or 30 degrees Celsius? We're gonna have some heat, and this summer is forecast to be quite a hot one. Another one. So guys, I'm going to just have a look at the chat here. Let's have a look. Give me 1 second. I want to see what you guys are saying. Hang on. Let's point the camera over at the dash gates. Let's have a look. So we've got, again, Sue Lawson, Mr. Connie, Jenny Watts, Craig Partington. It's a prop heaven in Vancouver. Well, yeah, kind of. It's a regional prop heaven, you might say. I'm an old school, tongue twisted. I am an old school prop enthusiast. So for me, prop heaven is memories of Miami, circa 1982, when you had Connies and Convairs and DC-6s and 4s. And C-97s alighting in front of you. I did many trips to Miami, and I'm a real true blue red-blooded prop liner fan. I like these props here, but yeah, I really miss the classic props. Speaking of which, here in Vancouver, we do get some classic props because Kelowna Flightcraft operate Convair 580s and the one and only Convair 5800 as well. That's a nighttime or very early morning operation, so we probably won't see them during our shows, but you never know, right? You just never know. But they do live here, and when you do see them fly, it is a treat for sure. Amiman Travels, Kevin, Becky Davies, Will P. Who else have we got here in the chat? My favorite. I love Nightbot. Let's have a look here. It's a Pacific Coastal. I lost it there. Pacific Coastal Beach 1900. Departing on the south side. Who else have we got in the chat? Let's have a look here. Paul Davies, Hingle, Kevin. Just trying to see if there's any questions that have been raised that could be answered. If anybody has a question, please do post it in the chat and I'll do my best to answer it. Let's see. I might be able to give you guys, hang on one second guys. 1 second. I'll come on screen myself here and present some of the news from this week. Let's have a look here. Okay, well, we've got a bit of a lull in the action, so I might as well give some of the news from Canada to everybody. The big news of the week, I would have to say, is Air Canada's announcing that they carried over 100,000 passengers last Friday. The first time they've achieved that since the pandemic started. So that's great news that Air Canada hit that milestone. And in other news that came on the back steps of that was that Air Canada's stock lifted. See, as soon as I come on camera, guys, sound, noise, competition, par for the course. That is a float plane departing on the river, and if I take myself off camera, we'll be back to silence, I guess. But c'est la vie. So Air Canada had a stock increase. Their share price went from low 20s to mid 20s, so it increased about 20%, literally in a day or two. And on that news, in the United States, all the major airlines announced that their booking levels are at historic highs for time of year. Going back to day one, they have never had so many bookings, advanced bookings, at this point in time of the year, ever. So all the US stocks increased in value yesterday. I believe United Airlines increased by $6 a share. So long may this continue, and I'm looking forward to doing as much traveling as I can. I know you guys are as well, so let's just keep our fingers crossed that some other event doesn't creep out and put a damper in this improvement in air travel. In other news, exactly a week ago yesterday, as we were doing our stream, Air Canada took delivery of their first 767 cargo aircraft at Tel Aviv. The aircraft was converted at Ben Gurion Airport to cargo. I believe it was a former Air Canada 767 that was operated by Rouge, so it was owned by Air Canada, and it ferried from Tel Aviv to Frankfurt, and then it operated live from Frankfurt to Toronto with its first live payload on an Air Canada 767 cargo. There are more of these aircraft being converted, and who knows, maybe we'll get to see one of these aircraft here in Vancouver. I'd certainly love to see that. I know all you guys would, so I guess it's just a matter of time before we see an Air Canada cargo 76 here in Vancouver. But it's great to see that the aircraft weren't sold off as Air Canada Rouge retired those aircraft during the pandemic. My hope is that Air Canada Rouge might resurrect a couple in the passenger role. I guess it just depends on loads. I know some of them went back to leasing companies, some of them are owned by Air Canada, and the situation is quite dynamic, it's fluid, and we just have to wait and see what happens on the Air Canada 767 front. But the cargo machines, definitely nice to see, that's for sure. In other news, Canada, the Canadian government has just announced, and it was in the newspaper this morning, that they are spending $250 million on 3 Beechcraft 350 King Airs. But hang on, they're actually going to be outfitted as ELINT aircraft with help from the United States government or the US Air Force. So ELINT is electronics intelligence. They're going to be ELINT platforms, so they're going to be capable of doing some very, very, very high level snooping and sniffing of terrorists and illegal and dangerous things that may be happening on the ground. And it gives Canada a capability that we didn't have with other aircraft. So yeah, the aircraft are worth tuppence, but it's the electronic equipment that they're putting on these aircraft that's worth in the order of $70 million per airplane. So the first one of these Beechcraft King Air 350s will be delivered to the Canadian Air Force at the end of this year, and the other two will follow next year. So yeah, that's interesting news. It must go down in the record books as the single most amount of money ever paid for a King Air. Maybe not, but seems like that might be a Guinness record in there for them. And what other news have we got to share? Yes, other big news in the media here in Canada is our national rule regarding foreign ownership stakes in Canadian Airlines. Right now, the rule is set at 25%, so foreigners can't own more than 25% equity in a Canadian airline. So that's turned into a bit of a fiasco for Flair Airlines here in Canada, because they took a terrific investment, many millions of dollars from their leasing company, which is a US-based company, during the pandemic, and they claimed that that investment was required to keep the company afloat. And now it's been raised that this American leasing company is calling the shots and actually managing or directing the management direction of the airline. So that is something that is being debated in our media right now as to whether Canada should increase that 25% limit or even get rid of it. I know in certain countries, Australia, New Zealand, foreigners can own 100% of the airlines. I believe. So some people say that it shouldn't be an issue, and that Canada should allow foreign investors to have 100% ownership in our airlines. Not sure which way I go on that myself, but that's the news. That's all the news that's fit to print in the aviation world here in Canada during the past week. Gorgeous morning, great to be here, and yeah, we've got something on tow. Let's have a look at that, guys. Okay, I'm just getting myself set up here on the camera. Okay. We've got an Air Canada 737 MAX due in from Edmonton, guys. He's on final letdown, so I'm just gonna pan the camera around so we can enjoy his arrival, or her arrival. Could be an all-female flight deck crew. There she is. Jane, I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. Thank you very much for your £5 super chat. We appreciate the support for the channel. Well, Will, thank you very much, Will. I appreciate your comments. I'm glad I try to give a little bit of news to just keep you guys updated with what's happening here in Canada. Break the monotony when we've got a quiet time. In the background, you can see Vancouver Island. You can see some snow patches up in the mountains. Well, that's just about 30 kilometers across the water from Vancouver. I'm sure many of you have taken that ferry ride. There's a snow patch right there, above the tail of the aircraft. Now, can you get right now the chirping from the VOR there, or whatever it is, the rotating beacon seems to, on my side, has gotten quieter. I don't know if it's quieter for you guys, but I guess it's also to do with atmospherics and wind direction, perhaps. I don't know, but there are certain periods when it's less of a problem. Hopefully it's not so bad for you guys as well. We've got a Dash 8 Q400 of Air Canada Jazz that's inbound from Seattle. It's about a 30-minute flight from here. I have done it myself. Most enjoyable. So I can't see him visually on the letdown, but as soon as I see his lights, we'll crank the camera around to enjoy his arrival. But yeah, let's have a look. No, he's still not quite. Oh, we've got an aircraft departing on the south side, guys. I can hear the engines powering up, so let's see if I can capture him for us. Let's have a look. I'm scouring the horizon for him. Okay, guys. Oh, there he is. That's the Air Canada Max going to Phoenix. Would like to be on the flight myself. Gear up. That's about a 2 hour and 40-minute flight. Nice way to spend a morning or midday. Robert, thank you very much for your £5 donation. Hope you're enjoying the show. There he is. He's gonna. Okay, guys, we've got the Jazz now, so let's just. There he is. Yeah. Final approach, coming in and not quite over the piano keys, but let's go. There he is. Hey, a warm welcome to you, Brian. Thank you for joining the channel. Nice to see you. So we've got an Air Canada Max inbound from Montreal as our next arrival this morning. It's a bit of a long flight on a Max. Montreal's probably 6 hours-ish, something like that. Let's have a look here. Well, they said 5 hours and 19 minutes. Sector time for that aircraft. So let's go have a look at the final approach. Was a nice landing. Nice capture. We've got another Beech 1900 departing on the south side, so nothing, we're not missing anything too serious there, guys. But that's the sound that we can hear. Oh, guys, we have a Dash 8 Q400 inbound from Terrace on pretty short finals. So I'm just going to bring the camera around. Not too quickly, though, because I don't want to cause visual disorientation to the viewers. There we are. Set up for... There it is. guys, we have a Westjet 7-3 inbound from Calgary. We're gonna head over to the final approach again. He's a bit of ways out though. He's a bit of ways out, so definitely a ways out. But we've got the camera in position. Let's have a look. Thank you, Phil, for that. I appreciate that. Wolfgang, nice to see you here. Ashley Williams, nice to see you. Delta Phil, thank you. Yeah, it is a good spot. It's a quiet spot. Place for some good solitude, aviation solitude. Have a Fort St. John arrival, guys. Dash 8 Q400. He's a ways out though. Well, no, not really. So stand by one, stand by one. Relatively busy morning. Standard operating procedures this morning here at YVR. Calm day, which is nice. So glad we made the decision to postpone to this morning. Great decision. Welcome, Martin from Bristol. We see you're a brand new viewer. Welcome to the channel. Hi, Matt. You think that's a decent livery? Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. I prefer the Air Canada newer livery myself. Hey, Delta Phil. Yeah, prop noise is nice. We Vancouver's movements are about 50% prop, 50% jet, so we're kind of used to it here. Yeah. So B. Davies says A320 on now. Okay, Jeff and Mass, that new Bombardier going to resurrect the Q400. Yeah, well, the new Bombardier is, I believe, it's the guys over in Victoria, Viking Aircraft. Viking Aircraft has taken over all of the production rights of the famous de Havilland Canada line, from the Dash 1, the Beaver, the DHC-2, the 3, the Otter, the 4, the Caribou, the 5, the Buffalo, the Dash 6, of course, which they have in production as the Series 400 of the Dash 6 or Twin Otter. Then the Dash 7, I don't think they're doing anything with, perhaps other than parts supply. And Dash 8, yeah, I have also heard that they're working on some form of reintroduction or remarketing of the Q400s, but Viking Air is a really amazing company, given that they've resurrected most of the de Havilland Canada business line of products and aircraft in one form or another. So that is actually really cool news. And they're kind of situated locally, because they're just over in Victoria, basically where my camera's pointed right now. Head 40 kilometers and you're going to arrive at Victoria Airport. So it's just a hop, skip, and a jump from Vancouver. Well, Claire, if you're coming to Vancouver in June, you're going to have a nice visit. The weather should be good. Definitely make a plan to head to Vancouver Island on the ferries. Spend some time on Vancouver Island for sure. You probably want to go to Whistler. You may even purchase a ticket and head up to Whitehorse for a few days. I would definitely do that if your budget allows. Have I ever been to Winnipeg? Asks Ashley. Yes, I went to university in North Dakota, so I did an undergraduate degree in aviation in the 80s, and I always flew in and out of Winnipeg and then made my way down to Grand Forks in North Dakota. So I've spent quite a bit of time through Winnipeg in winters, and I've done a fair bit of aviation photography there. And in years past, I also went through Winnipeg when I rented a car and went hunting for various float planes in Ontario. But yes, I have been many times in Winnipeg, and I do like it. And there's some great aircraft there. We've got something on final, guys. Stand by 1 as we bring our camera around. Q400, naturally. Walker, welcome to the show. Plane spotting Ringway, cycling Neo. Spotting from the top of the near mountains down to the airport is so beautiful, I mean. Okay. Glenn Knowles, John Feza, Kevin, Lee Davies, Jeff and Mass. Claire was here in October, and she says hopefully a little less rain. Well, yeah, with Vancouver, you don't know. To be honest, this is the nicest day we've had in quite some time. We've got a departure. You got something on the roll on the south side. We're just going to be in position to capture him here as he rotates. Full power. We're ready. There we go. Oh yeah. Nice. This is our standard Montreal service. Our Canada A330. Gear up. Thank you for the huge Mega 50 Mega Bong, Kevin. Appreciate the support to the channel. Thank you, Kevin. I'm doing my best for you guys always, and I appreciate your recognition of that, as does the channel. Thank you very much, Kevin. So Kevin, I'll just read your message for everybody. Hi Henry, doing a great job as always. A little donation for your efforts today. Cheers, Kevin. I do hope you're enjoying our show today, Kevin. So we have a Dash 8 Q400 Air Canada Jazz inbound from Sandspit up in the Queen Charlotte Islands. That's a long flight on a Dash, but it's scenic if the weather's nice. Yeah, Lee, I guess you're right. Decent variation in traffic here in Vancouver. We'll have to do a float plane show one of these days. There's the Lynx Air departing, guys. Missed that. Missouri. Wow, beautiful. Yeah, it's 12 degrees Celsius, so that's about 50 degrees here in Vancouver. We'll double it and add 30, so what's that? Yeah, mid-50s Fahrenheit here in Vancouver. But it is pleasant. It's lovely, actually. Not too windy. It's a great day to be at the airport, sharing some fantastic views with all my friends. So guys, we have Air Canada 78 on finals from Toronto, inbound from Toronto. She's a bit ways out though, but we're just going to get the camera in position. And there we go. There it is. Susie B, thank you for the $4.49 and the 2-month membership. We appreciate your support to the channel. Sweet. Brake action. Well, we do our best for the picture and audio quality. That's what we strive for, and today's a good day, so that certainly helps matters. Hey Mike, thank you for the heads up on the Korean Airlines. We're definitely going to see that aircraft arrive not too far from now. Yeah, I love the brakes, just fantastic. When we get that squeaking brakes. Sometimes I even get to smell the burnt rubber. Not always, but depends on the wind direction. So guys, we've got 18% battery. When it gets down to 15, I'm going to announce a battery change. So just to give you a heads up, we're probably a few minutes away from a battery change, or sooner. We've got a Westjet inbound from Terrace, guys, on short finals right now. So we're going to do the Westjet, and then I'm going to do the battery change. So that's our plan. We'll do the battery change as quick as we can, of course. So let's get this Westjet. Graham in Shropshire, welcome to the channel. I think we've got time for one more approach shot, guys, before we do the battery change. So let's do her. It's a Q400, another Q400. This is the Idaho Vandals livery Alaska machine inbound from Seattle, so always nice to get the logo planes. It's not a logo jet, it's a logo prop. There he is. Battery's gonna go, guys, just so you're aware. See if we can get this before the battery collapses. It's literally seconds away from battery collapse. Oh, it's not a logo jet, I thought it was. Sorry about that, guys. I'm turning the camera off, guys. We're doing the battery change now. Battery change, battery change. We're back. We are back. I'll just level the camera tripod a little bit here. There we go. Yep, we're back. Thank you for your patience. Yeah, it was interesting. The flight radar was giving us erroneous information on the color scheme of this aircraft. It's the standard Alaska color scheme. It's not actually a special scheme, but I guess that can happen. Sorry about that, guys. As I put the camera back, the cables came a bit loose here. But I think we're okay now for the video feed. It just came a bit loose when I reconfigured the camera back onto the tripod. I think we're back now. Yes, we've got the Summit Air flying south of the airport. My guess is he will probably arrive on the south side as opposed to the north side. They almost always land on the south side because that's where they park. So we have something on the roll though on the south side, I believe. Hang on. Stan, let's have a look. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, so what's going on here? So, got our, this guy's taxing. Huh. Where did he come from, I wonder? Okay, that's the Toronto-Vancouver Dreamliner. And it arrived 8 minutes ago, so I'm just catching him now. Let's have a look here, guys. So let's see what's going on with the Air France. How are they doing? Well, they've still doing their turnaround. And let's have a look at the chat. So yeah, that Korean Dreamliner that was mentioned earlier, he's about 10 or 15 minutes from arrival. That'll be nice. That'll be nice to see the Korean land here. So that's about 10 minutes away from now. And let's see what else we have. Let's have a look here. What else have we got on the field? Okay. The China Eastern A350 is just sitting here, so I guess it arrived well before we got here, and it's not going to be going anywhere while we're here because they haven't even taken it to the gates. It's just sitting there dormant. No attention being paid to the aircraft, so I don't think they're going to be towing it and departing it during our show. China has been an interesting operation over the last few weeks because, as you guys all know, they stopped all their passenger flights because of their local pandemic during in Shanghai in particular. So they're back. They're back with service to Vancouver, I guess on a limited basis anyhow. And let's get this Q400. So Singapore Airlines, as many of you know that have watched our previous shows, they operate between Singapore and Vancouver and Seattle, and they combine the Vancouver-Seattle service as a join together service. So the Singapore A350 is leaving Seattle right now. It's flying up here to Vancouver, so it should be here in 30-40 minutes, something like that. So we'll get the Singapore A350 arrival, roughly in a half an hour. That's always fun, nice to see. Singapore Airlines has a, maybe you might call it a love-hate relationship with Vancouver. And the reason why I say that is, going back 30 years, Singapore is not a consistent scheduled operator in Vancouver. They will serve Vancouver for a period of time, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Then they'll stop for a period of time. Then they'll restart, stop, restart, stop. And it's our understanding that Singapore may be dropping Vancouver again, which is unfortunate, but I guess it just depends on how their load economics make sense for them out of here. And whether that comes to fruition or not, we'll have to see, but hopefully they don't. But that's the rumor. That's what I've heard, is that Singapore may be dropping their service to Vancouver. If it does happen, then it makes sense that probably at some point in the future they'll be back again, but it'll be sad to see them leave in the short term anyhow. You cannot buy a flight between Vancouver and Seattle on Singapore Airlines. They do not have traffic rights, and they are only carrying their own OND passengers, origin and destination passengers, between Singapore and Vancouver and Seattle. They cannot, by the route agreements, carry passengers from Vancouver to Seattle. I know in Europe, many airlines have the ability and the rights to do local service, well, within the EC, like from London to Frankfurt, and then on to Qatar, for example, or London to Paris, and then on to Baghdad. So you can get some unusual flight possibilities riding on rare aircraft types, just on the intra-European services. But that is not something that exists here in Canada, unfortunately, because I'm a flight hound like you guys. I like flying on as many different aircraft as I can, and unusual aircraft types and different airlines. And to be able to fly on a special airline or special type for a reasonable airfare and make a day out of it, that's great fun. I love doing those kinds of flights when I can, but I usually do them when I come to Europe. So just bear in mind that when you come to Canada, it's going to be the Canadian airlines that are licensed to fly here, not the exotic airlines that may happen to do these unusual route combinations. Robert Sushamel, thank you for the £5. We appreciate your support to the channel. My love of Canada, hockey, beer, and Henry. Well, thank you very much, Robert. Doing our best today. Mind you, our beer is pretty good when compared to, well, I won't say it. What else have we got here in the chat, guys? Okay. So Mark Newby, Kev Bow, John Fezza, Jeff in Massachusetts, Jamie Campbell, The Lake Effect, Cami Hudson. Nice to see all of you guys in the chat today here. Joining me in Vancouver. Ramp airside, almost airside. I'd say runway side is a good way to put it. So we've got a little bit of a break here in the arrivals, guys. Bit of a quiet time. Let's see, what can we show? Let's have a look here. Well, you can see the fence line. So there's the service road where the airport vehicles occasionally drive around, and sometimes we can see foxes and various dogs and whatnot, coyotes running around the field. I haven't seen any today. I haven't seen any exotic birds either. Well, of the feathered type, I should say. So, yeah. And no mosquitoes today. It's actually pleasant, very pleasant. Just a pleasure to be here, actually. At the start of our show, we had a gentleman was here with his little children, his kids, young kids, toddlers almost, and they were very cute kids, and so you might have heard them in the background. Oh, hang on, guys. What have we got there? Here north, back to Whitehorse. Lucky Devils. He's departing on runway 26 left, but he'll eventually turn to the right and head north. He's right now flying due west. So if you're coming up to Vancouver for a holiday and you want to fly on Air North, check out their website. I believe it's flyairnorth.com. You can easily find it on Google, and they have really good airfares. As I say, you can find fares between Vancouver and Whitehorse for, at times, $100 each way. $150 each way is still a very good deal in my opinion, because we're talking about, again, the distance from Vancouver to Los Angeles. We're talking a 2-hour and 30 to a 2-hour and 45-minute flight from Vancouver to Whitehorse, and to be able to do that flight for $150, it's a bargain. It's an absolute bargain. And when you get up to Whitehorse, it's not an expensive place to visit. You can rent a car, find a hotel for quite a good deal, and spend some time enjoying the area. If you're an aviation geek, you'll spend most of the time at the airport like I did, but that's okay. Here we go. I think this is our Toronto service outbound. Let's check that out. Yeah, so this aircraft's going to Toronto, and my sister is actually on the flight. She was visiting us this past week, and so there she goes. I hope she has a nice flight back to Toronto. Flights are pretty full here in Canada these days. I think many of these flights are like 100% load factor, which is great news. But we have an American Airlines inbound from Los Angeles. Let's see if I can find him. Yeah. I'm just going to move the camera, guys, for this inbound American Airlines, now that I've got visual contact. Oh guys, we have the Korean Airlines here sooner than we thought. He is on short final, so I'm going to yank the camera around. Close your eyes if this makes you nauseous. But we have our Korean inbound from Seoul. It's showtime. Special shout out to our friends in Los Angeles, the LA live stream guys. They do an amazing job. Look forward to visiting LA soon and seeing the action myself. It's truly impressive, the amount of action they have in Los Angeles from the hill there. It's a great airport, and yeah, the Los Angeles airport streaming guys do an amazing job. So kudos to them, and thank you for checking out our channel too here in Vancouver. Hang on guys, we do have a got another lander. Follow the Korean in. a short break here, guys, on the arrival scene, so we'll do some follow-in footage here. I'd like to be sitting up there, business class, Korean Airlines. I'm sure that's a great product. Can't say I've had the pleasure yet. Yeah, Christopher, thank you for your observations. Yeah, I got my first video camera in '91 and spent many decades producing aviation DVDs, Henry Tenby DVDs and Airline Hobby DVDs. I had a number of rebrandings of them, but yeah, I did the DVD business for quite some time and chased the world to fly on classic props and classic jetliners. And yeah, my first camera was in '91, and it was a regular 8 camera. Then I got a high 8 camera. So we've got something on the roll, guys. I can hear the engine screaming away on the south side there. Get the camera in position. Could be the Air Canada Toronto, actually. Let's just see where... Yeah, that's it. There's my sister. She's off to Toronto. Good for her. Traveling in class. Well, not business class, but in style, I should say. Oh, there we go. We'll do a south turn, and then she'll do a 180 and track over the US east to Toronto. About a 4-hour flight, 3.5-hour flight from here. It was nice that we caught that. Oh, Aero Mexico pulling into the horseshoe. Let's have a look. What else have we got going on here, guys? Maxes. See what's happening over at Air France. Hang on there. They're just securing the Korean at the gate. So guys, just as a bit of an update, our probable highlight of the show is going to be the Lufthansa 747-400 inbound from Frankfurt. And that aircraft is a little over an hour away, so that will be awesome to see that landing here. I can't wait. I love 747-400 action. Oh, hang on guys, we got a departure. Stand by. If I can find it with the camera. Yeah, there we are. Westjet. South runway departure, 26 left departure. got another departure here, guys. I can hear the engines screaming for max takeoff power. They're going to be coming right through here, our plane of view, in seconds. So let's get the camera ready. Oh, well, I can't be in two places at once. So, oh, there. We've got Air New Zealand inbound, guys. That's about half an hour away. It's a long flight from New Zealand to Vancouver. They were a regular here during the pandemic. They did not stop their service. They maintained it right through the depths of the pandemic. So kudos to Air New Zealand. YVR in Vancouver in Canada appreciates their support and their loyal service. And I hear another aircraft with engines at max brake release there on the south side. That's a Toronto service, Air Canada, A330. See if we can catch him. There he is. Classic bus. Yeah, it is interesting that Air Canada does have these two back-to-back flights, you know, one a triple and one an A330 to Toronto, but that speaks to the volumes of passengers that are willing to pay for tickets to get to Toronto. So they gotta send two 300-seat airplanes back to back. So long may that continue, guys. That is awesome. That is so awesome to see, and I'm wishing all airlines everywhere nothing but success and 100% load factors. So we've got our Singapore lining up, our Singapore A350 inbound from SeaTac Airport. So we'll just get the camera ready for the arrival here. I can see the lights. I'm not sure if you guys can, but he is now letting down for final approach. guys, we have a Sun Country inbound from Seattle. This is 737. Sun Country does show up here quite regularly during hockey season because they do sports charters. I'm not sure what team they're flying in, but I do know that it is a sports charter. So let's get in position for the Sun Country arrival. Every time I've seen him, he's been on the south runway. So we're lucky here, guys. We've got him on the north side. So we're going to see the Sun Country 737 right here before your very eyes. Yeah, I'm not sure, guys, what sports team it is with, but I do know it is a sports team. It could be a hockey team. I don't follow organized sports myself, so I'm not sure what teams are playing where. I just know it is a sports team charter, and they've been in here with various aircraft over the winter. So it is nice to see, and it's definitely probably a hockey charter, but definitely a sports charter. You know what? I'm going to take that back because he's going to the US. This aircraft is taxiing to the US gate area. The sports charters do not go to the gate area, they go to the FBO. So this is some other charter. I don't know, just do not know. You'd have to look at the arrivals board at YVR, and that might give some information as to who it's for. I don't know. But it's not a sports charter. I've never seen one of these aircraft go to the gate. So all of the sports charters go to the FBOs on the south side. Thank you, Mandy P. Appreciate that donation and your kind comments. Well, this was a nice treat for us, everybody. Completely unexpected. Very nice treat. Oh, what's going on over here, guys? Let's have a look at Singapore. They're pulling into their gate. That's got to be a long flight though, from Seattle to Vancouver and then to Singapore. My gosh. I think you'd have to, if you had the budget, you know, go for business class on that, because sitting in the back, ooh, that's probably 15 hours of travel, if not more. That is a long, long flight via Vancouver to Singapore. Yikes. But they're not the only game in town doing that. Philippine Airlines has always matched their Vancouver service with another destination. Well, I shouldn't say always, but they have frequently done it. In years past, Philippine Airlines would match Vancouver with Las Vegas. So that's also a long, very long journey from Manila to Las Vegas via Vancouver. That was probably 10 or 15 years ago. And then who else did it? Cathay Pacific also matched Vancouver with New York. And you know what? They actually did somehow get rights. I'm not sure of the particulars, but you could buy a ticket on Cathay Pacific between Vancouver round trip to New York. So they had the rights, but not all airlines do have those Fifth Freedom rights. We've got a 737 MAX pushing back. There he is. So this is the Air Canada San Francisco service starting engines. It's a nice puff of smoke. And we have a CRJ on final, guys. Let's have a look at that. Air Canada Jazz CRJ. Bit of heat haze there. Pull the zoom back. So guys, we've got a United Express Embraer 175 on the approach. Operating a Vancouver service from San Francisco. Quite a bit of service between Vancouver and San Francisco today. Nice to see. Very nice to see. It's operated by SkyWest, guys. Hello, Craig in Halifax. Nice to see you here, and thank you for your £5 donation. I'm happy when I see fellow Canadians tuning in to us here in Vancouver. Craig McKinnon writes, hello from Halifax. This is a great stream. Thank you very much on that, Craig. It's good to get some Canadian airport content and a great open location, spotting location. Yeah, we are lucky. Oh, speaking of locations, guys. Southside departure. Yet another Toronto service. Again, Toronto Vancouver is the prime route in Canada. It's the busiest route naturally. Air Canada generally operates at least hourly service between early morning and late night. So it's unusual when we see two flights go back to back, but certainly hourly service is par for the course. So guys, we're getting closer to the Lufthansa 747 arrival. And please do share our stream with your friends and fellow aviation fanatics. Invite them to come and check this out. The 747-400 is such a classic aircraft, and seeing it land here in Vancouver is a mega treat. So please do share our stream with your friends, fellow aviation enthusiasts. They won't want to miss the 747-400 arrival. I can't wait for it myself. There's the San Francisco. And if you post on Twitter, you can retweet it to your friends. Actually, we've posted it on Twitter, so you can easily retweet that. So check out our post, our Airliners Live post on Twitter, and then just hit retweet. That would be hugely appreciated, guys. So yeah, Lufthansa and their 747-400s and A340s, they are classics. They've been resurrected from their downtime during the pandemic. Sadly, the A380 was not resurrected by Lufthansa, and the fate of those aircraft is unknown, but we're very grateful to have the Lufthansa classics coming into Vancouver. I might just even buy a ticket myself on Lufthansa to get one more kick at the can flying on the 747-400. If it's still in service in the fall, I think that's what I might do. Or who knows, maybe redeem some business class, some points and fly on business class. It's so well worth it, guys. I mean, sitting on the upper deck on a 747-400, if you haven't done it, you must do it. It is worth the money. It is worth the points. It's an experience that you will cherish your lifetime. You'll be able to tell your grandchildren about it. Of course, Lufthansa still operate 747-800s as well. Those aren't, they're not quite in the same caliber, in my opinion, as the A340 and the original 747-400. They'll be around for a while, probably decades. Friends of mine at Lufthansa say the 747-8 will be around for many, many, many years in the passenger role. So Lufthansa's happy with the aircraft, very happy with the aircraft. So guys, we've got an Air Canada 737 MAX on letdown here, inbound from Calgary. So we're just gonna position the camera so we can enjoy his arrival. Go. I hear props. The props that I was hearing was that Alaska Q400 on taxi. Well, we have a float plane in the very far distance, guys. And I'll see if I can show it to you. It's like kilometers away. Well, not really, but see if I can find it. There it is. Oh, look at that. Oh, neat. Learjet and de Havilland. It's the Turbine Otter on floats. Harbor Air just departed from the Vancouver float base, probably headed to Victoria. They do offer a few services a day between Vancouver Airport and Victoria. Not many. But if he... Okay guys, we have on finals. Bear with me. I'm going to bring the camera around. Q400 on the inbound. Anybody know that first officer? Or the captain? Okay guys, we've got an Alaska inbound special scheme. This is an Alaska Airlines logo prop. Go Dogs. Southwest Air 521, brand new premium economy member. Thank you very much for your support to the channel. And welcome to premium economy. Welcome Shane, new viewer to our channel. So we've got the bit of a break here. Then we've got Air New Zealand coming in. logo aircraft. It's nice how Horizon has done a number of their Q400s as logo props. It breaks the monotony, and their bog standard scheme is very nice too. Actually, with the smiling face of the Eskimo on the tail. So kudos to Horizon Air on keeping their airplanes entertaining. Sunwing still sitting there. One day we'll get to see one move, I'm sure. Oh, look at that. 2 Alaskas here in Vancouver. That's neat. Could be Seattle. Very cool. And let's see what we've got happening in the chat, guys. Flugelschaft, greetings to me. Thank you very much, Flugelschaft. Nice to see you here. NK, petition to call the Vancouver stream Henry's Heavies. Yeah, yeah, that's good. I like that. Henry's Heavies. The Henry's Heavies show. We need to have more heavies. Less lights, more heavies. Yeah, but I need to have a t-shirt made, Henry's Heavies. It's like, if it ain't Bowen, I'm not going. Christopher Wood asks if any used A380s were picked up by the South American market. I don't know. I believe the Lufthansa A380s were owned by banks and leasing companies, and Lufthansa simply decided to not take up the aircraft back into their fleet. So they went back to the banks and leasing companies. I think some ended up with some European charter airlines in Spain, but I'm not sure that I don't think any A380s have made it down to South American based operators as of yet. But it's a good impetus for that to happen, that's for sure. I'm sure A380s will be going cheap. I mean, they're even breaking up A380s. They're scrapping them now, which is hard to believe. And I need to still fly on an A380, so it's a shame that Lufthansa got rid of them before that could happen. So let's see, where can you fly on an A380? Does Thai still have them? I don't know if they're in service. In Japan, of course, you can fly on the ANA machines domestically. That's an option. That's a really good option, actually. I'll put that on my to-do list. Okay, guys, showtime. We have on deck, on approach, a heavy. So let's just get the camera in position for this guy. This is our Air New Zealand. Lined up. There we are. that was a treat and a half, guys. Most enjoyable. Great to see that. All Blacks. 787 inbound from Auckland. That's a 7,000-mile flight. Wow. He's going into inside the horseshoe. He usually parks inside the horseshoe, the Air New Zealand. So guys, the battery is at 18%. So once we say goodbye to the Air New Zealand, I think I'm going to do a controlled battery change on us, just so that we don't have any collapses when we least expect it. So guys, I'm going to turn the camera off literally as soon as we leave this 767. I'll let you know. So just be ready. Okay guys, bear with me. I am going to turn the camera off in 3, 2, actually no, just hang on a second. I'll make it even quicker. Just bear with me. Okay, I'll turn the camera off. Stand by one, I'll be back momentarily. We are back. We are back. Thank you for that, guys. Hang on. Well, this was a freshly charged battery, but it's only giving me 32%, so I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that. Hang on one second. I'm going to pull a fourth battery out of my bags. I'm not wanting to go with 32%. Stand by a second, guys. So guys, I'm going to do one more battery change. I've got another battery right here in my hand, so I'm going to do one more battery change. Stand by. We're back again, so we are at 100%. Great. So thank you for that, guys. Thank you very much for your patience while I did a double battery change. But we're good now. We are good to roll. Speaking of rolling, we've got an Air Canada 787 here on the taxi out. Hang on. So, let's see. Give me a second, guys. I just have to adjust the tripod. Sorry, guys. As I say, I'm just making a minor adjustment here, and we're back. Thank you for that. So Air France is buttoning up. But I had a... yeah. We have an Air Canada -8 inbound from Kelowna on the final approach. We'll just bring the camera around to him, but first of all, we'll give a quick view of Air France, because I think he's getting pretty close to pushing. So we'll watch him very closely, guys. But yes, we do have a Air Canada Jazz -8 inbound. So we'll just position the camera around for that. He's still a little bit, he's not on the piano keys yet, or not even close, but there he is. chat, guys, and see how you're doing. 17 minutes for the Lufthansa from planes. Thank you very much for that. Excellent. Yeah, again, guys, please do tell your friends about the Lufthansa that's inbound. Share the tweet. Airliners Live put out a Twitter tweet. So if you go to Airliners Live on Twitter, look for the tweet about the Lufthansa 747-400 that's inbound 17 minutes from now, and share that with your friends. Have them come and watch with us to enjoy what I'm sure will be a fantastic landing. And maybe even let Lufthansa know. Do an at Lufthansa if you can. I'm sure they'd like to know too that we're enjoying their aircraft here in Vancouver. So if everybody can just do me one quick favor and click that thumbs up. We're only 50 likes away from 1,000. So if we can hit the 1,000, that would be really fantastic. Group effort from all of us. So just hit that like, and we'll be very, very close to hitting that magic 1,000. So he's taxiing with the port side engine shut down to save fuel, which, as we all know, is extremely expensive today. We have an inbound A320 from Calgary, Air Canada. That's setting up on approach, on finals. We'll just move the camera around for him right now. There she is on a short finals, gear down and locked. Boy, he's keeping those spoilers up for a long time. But yeah, nice to see the A320s. I mean, it's hard to believe this is now a classic aircraft. Some of these Air Canada A320s are 25, 30 years old, sort of getting up there anyhow. Oh, we got a heavy, guys. We got a heavy. If I can find it on the camera. Yeah, there he is. So I'll just come and have a look at the chat, see what's happening with you guys. Hope you're all doing well. see what's going on with the chat here, guys. Okay, Lufty, 10 minutes out. Loopy, thank you for the heads up on that. Awesome. Wayne Dyer, will invisible airplanes ever be a thing? I just can't see them taking off. No, I can't see that happening either, Wayne, but who knows, with cloaking technology, maybe we'll live to see it. What else have we got happening here? Ian Deco, Jepa, Loopy, Matt Smith, Hingle, Will P, Logan Gowlett. It says Lufthansa is only 13 minutes away. It should be on approach any second. Yeah, we're watching it like a hawk. Oh, hang on, guys. Whoa, 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 whoa. We got some action. I was asleep at the wheel. Yeah, the minute I go into the chat, some action happens. Again, I need to have 4 eyes. I've only got 2, and that's the limitation of being a one-man operation. This 7-8 is on our way to Tokyo, Narita Airport, one of my favorite routes with Air Canada. Can't wait to get back to Japan myself. I miss my sushi. I miss my plane spotting at Haneda Airport and Narita Airport, both famous for their fabulous OBS decks. I really love Japan. Such a great country, nice and clean, nice and safe. People are very friendly and helpful. Zero crime. It's 20 out of 10 in my books. So yeah, off she goes. Sayonara. Meanwhile, back at the ramp, let's have a look what's happening here. We've got a float plane off in the distance there. Another, what's that? That's a beaver. Can't tell the operator, but yeah, we've got a beaver on floats departing the float base. As I say, we're going to do a Vancouver Harbor show, special show for you guys. We'll probably do several of them. We'll see how popular it is, but I'm game for it. There'll be a lot of beavers and otters, twin otters, mostly going on Harbour Air flights to Vancouver Island. Both Nanaimo and Vancouver, or both Nanaimo and Victoria are served from Vancouver. So guys, again, it's getting down to the short strokes for the Lufthansa 400 arrival. So if you guys can take a moment and just head over to the Airliners Live Twitter and share the tweet about the 400, the Lufthansa 747-400 that's due inbound to Vancouver. We would appreciate that. The more the merrier. There's lots of room here for everybody. And again, it's a 400, so seeing it alight here in Vancouver on runway 26 right will be a treat. I'll never get tired of that. So, have we got anything else on the south runway departing? See, I'm scanning the horizon for lights, guys, and seeing if there's any aircraft in the immediate vicinity that... Okay, I'm gonna cast my eyes down to the chat. So I just want to see how you guys are doing. Make sure you're all hanging in there nicely. Let's have a look. Yeah, Hingle, he says, feel free to send Henry a tip for his hard work. Look, guys, anything is appreciated. The channel appreciates it. I'm here to make you guys happy and have fun. I'm having a great day. I'm having fun. I love being here. Tips are appreciated, but, you know, you guys just enjoy the show. That's the most important thing. We have got another float plane. buzzing about here. What is that? That is a beaver on floats. Piston beaver on floats. De Havilland, Canada. Can't get close enough to see the ident on it, but looks good. So he's heading north. So he's heading possibly up to Nanaimo, Powell River, something like that. Let's check the final approach. We still don't have any lights in the approach as of yet, but Korean Airlines is, let's see, what are they doing over there on the ramp? Well, they're still in the middle of their ground ops, offloading pallets, etc. So let's see what else we've got happening. Well, the Air France seems to be quiet, but I think they're going to be pushing back in a not too long from now. Hey, Stefan in Belgium, I'm glad you're enjoying our show today. Hope all is well in Belgium this evening. Okay guys, I think we're coming up on showtime. We are coming up on showtime. I have landing lights in sight. Right above the bridge there. Be quiet on the set so you guys can savor this arrival. Shut my yapper. Well guys, there you have it. It was a buttery smooth arrival. It was almost, the word that comes to my mind is effortless. Completely effortless. So guys, we've got the Air France actually having pushed back right here. So he's, I guess, Lufthansa is maybe waiting for Air France to get out of the way, something like that. So it's busy. We've got a bit of congestion here on the ramp. Yeah, there he goes. Good action. European action here at Vancouver. It's so nice to see. This airport's been so quiet during the pandemic. We're so pleased to have all this great traffic here. Not for LA, but for Vancouver, this is a big thing. Then we've got the Lufthansa right there. Isn't that a nice view? we've got one aircraft on finals here. Let's well, guys, we're getting towards the end. Well, hang on, we've got one more departure here. We've got an Air Canada 787 pulling off the gate area here. So I think we'll call it a day once this guy, once this Air Canada 787 Dreamliner gets out of our view. We can say that we've had a very nice day here at YVR. And I do want to thank you all for tuning in. We were pretty lucky with the various movements that we had. The weather was great. It was so pleasant. We didn't have to battle rain or wind. We got the 747. We got some nice international heavies. We got the Sun Country. It's just overall very, very enjoyable. I'm so glad you all got to tune in with me today. So remember, guys, this coming Sunday, you'll want to tune in for our show at Manchester's, 10 a.m. British Standard Time, Greenwich Mean Time. For those of you watching abroad, the Manchester show with Martin and Andy. Coming up in a few days. That's Sunday, 10 a.m. That will be a great show. Look at this action though, guys. I mean, it's just kind of nice. Double triples, double 777s. No, double 787s in harmony. They're doing a dance together. Very nice views. It's almost like it's choreographed, especially for us. Really, really cool. Loopy and Matt, we just want to thank you very, very much for all your help in moderating the show, all of our shows. I mean, you guys are just golden. You guys are princes, and we really appreciate your help. Matt and Loopy, you guys are rock stars. Well, guys, hang on. Well, here we are. It was another great show that we had on the north side here in Vancouver. It is a lovely day. It's still only about 12 degrees Celsius. There's a very gentle wind, and it's just such a nice place to be, and to soak up the action and enjoy our hobby here and share it with as many people as possible. That's what it's all about, having fun. And I'm really thankful that you guys showed up and enjoyed the show with me today. So again, tune in for the Airliners live show on Sunday at Manchester, 10 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, British Standard Time. We'll look forward to seeing you there, and we're going to look forward to seeing you at our next Vancouver show next week as well. So thank you all. Yeah, we were lucky. We had some really great movements today, guys, and I'm looking forward to next week. All the best, everybody. Have a good evening, good morning, good afternoon. All the best, and thank you again for tuning in, guys.